Welcome to the Business Success Strategies with Adrian McLean. This is a 30-minute interview with successful business people who have been able to achieve amazing results with growing a business. Business Success Strategies is proudly sponsored by adrianmclean.com, helping business owners with marketing and promotions with a specialty with public speaking. Enjoy today's Business Success Strategies interview.
Welcome to the Business Success Strategies interview, where we meet business professionals who've achieved outstanding results and built thriving businesses. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. It helps us to reach more business owners who can benefit from these conversations. This series is proudly sponsored by Amplify Results, helping consultants, coaches and service professionals attract more clients through practical marketing, sales and growth strategies. Today, I'm delighted to welcome Sid Lal from Bruce Clay, Australia, talking about leveraging Google to drive leads and generate revenue. Sid is the Managing Director of Bruce Clay, Australia, part of a global SEO agency founded in 1996. He's been in digital marketing since 2000, is one of Australia's most recognised voices in search, a TEDx speaker and a regular Keynote Speaker at business and marketing conferences. Sid and his team have helped hundreds of businesses land first-page Google rankings across SEO, Google Ads, content and web design. Please join me in welcoming Sid Lal.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction, Adrian. What I'll do is, yes, thanks. And we look forward to talking all about Google today and getting other consultants, coaches, etc., or anyone else who's maybe running a buyer's agency or a Marcom specialist, helping their businesses get onto the Google bandwagon as well as now the latest is AI. So getting into the AI results, AI SEO, AI overviews, all of that. So we'll talk a little bit about what that will be there. Yeah. All right. So you've already given a little bit of a spiel about me. So yeah, if someone wants to type in digital marketing TED Talk, I used to be on the first page of Google for many years for that, and I think it might still be there. So that's a video from a TEDx talk I did back in 2018. And then a little bit about our company, since I need to promote our business as well. So we do offer search engine optimization services for other consultants, for other direct businesses, etc. And we've literally given first page results for hundreds of businesses, and that's like millions of first page results. So yeah, and we apart from SEO, we do other gamuts of the business as well. So we do Google Ads as well, and we do a little bit of web development, all those kind of things. So let's talk a little bit about the various marketing channels that are available. So I'll just go broad first for just a little bit. So there are various channels that all of us should be taking advantage of. So there is SEO, there's Google Ads, there's YouTube, which are all part of the Google ecosystem. And now also Google Gemini and Google AI overviews, which are part of that AI's first stuff that has come through. But that's all part of the overall Google ecosystem. And then we have the Meta ecosystem, which includes the Facebook ads, Instagram, etc. We've got all of that, WhatsApp. And which is also part of social media, etc. Then some businesses can take advantage of things like influencer marketing, right? And then I believe all businesses must take advantage of email marketing as well. So create your own databases, collect email addresses, and then use that to communicate your business newsletters, offers, etc. to that database. Now, surrounding all of this is your website, and that is the key player in the overall scheme of things as well. So essentially what happens is, I always say your website is your sales superstar, It's awake 24/7. It's selling 24/7. So you must take really good care of your website. Make sure it loads very, very quickly. Make sure it's got call to actions on your website are there. You're using very good images. And make sure that those images are optimized. So you don't want to upload a 4 MB image and slow down your website. So make sure you compress those images and upload them. The content on the site, think about your user journey. What is the messaging that people should see when they come to the website? And the other thing, when we are talking about the website, is the fact that, look, you might be driving, you could spend a ton of money driving very, very good traffic to your website using all these channels that are available to you, which I talked about in the previous slide, which I've also shown here on the left of the screen, which is you could use the Google ecosystem, Meta, YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever, to drive traffic and even direct from your brand. But if your website is not optimized, you're going to lose a lot of those people who will not convert. And I've seen that time and time again. And recently we had a client, I don't want to name those clients, but let's just talk about one of the clients that we had. We were driving a ton of traffic to the website, but it was not converting. So what we did is we noticed when someone clicked on a button like get a quote, what would happen is that button in some pages was not working. And so that's a leads being dropped off. The other thing we noticed is when someone clicked on some pages, contact us, it would force them to open an email box instead of a simple contact form on the page itself. The third thing was they didn't have those call to actions present everywhere. And fourth, in some cases, when someone clicked the call button, it would open up Skype. And I hadn't seen Skype in ages. So one of the things that we did is we fixed all these issues. And then for an e-commerce site, one of the things I noticed was there at the bottom, the call to action, which is the buy now, was way below the product description, which was about 2 to 3 scrolls. The person had to scroll 2-3 times. It was not right up there on the top of the page. So when we fixed all of these different issues, the conversions went up rapidly, even without driving new traffic. So the point is, your website is your sales superstar. You must take really good care of it. Think through all these things that I just mentioned, the user journey. How fast is your site loading? Do you have the call to actions on the page? Are your product descriptions up to date? Are the images used good? All those things. Is your site secure? Is it mobile optimized? All those things need to be taken care of. So
it all has to be working.
Yes,
working
exactly.
as you click through.
Yes, absolutely. And you'll notice that your conversions will go up when you do all of these things. Now, zooming into the Google ecosystem, the reason I love the Google ecosystem is I always say it's an intent-based medium, right? You're not really forcefully selling a product or service. People, on the other hand, have actually come to Google and they are directly typing their thoughts, their wants, their needs. They're typing that into Google, right? And exactly at the point of time when they are expressing their need or desire for buying a particular product or getting a particular service. So this could be, hey, it could be an in-market audience where they are looking to buy their new car or a new home, or they could be looking for professional services like personal trainers, etc., right? So exactly at this point of time, they come into Google and they type that desire in, and that's when your website shows up, right? That's why I say it's so powerful, because I always think to myself, when was the last time, let's say if I take a product which you purchased maybe once in 10 years or 5 years, it could be a mattress or a car or a house. You don't just, so if you've already made that purchase recently, you're not going to go back into Google and type that in, right? So the only time you type it in is when you need it. So what happens then is, once you've got that happening, which is, someone's typed that into Google, their search query, Now, exactly at that point of time, now I'm just going to go in and say, let's say if you were a local business, then your ad could appear in what's called the map pack, right? So in Google Maps, which also appears on the main Google desktop search as well. So in this example, I've just talked about, hey, someone types in buyer's agent, eastern suburbs, right? So you'll notice that it says sponsored results. So these are businesses that are advertising on Google Maps, and they've put in, so you can see buyer's agent, eastern suburbs, etc., and it appears with their reviews, ratings, opening times, all of that, right? So this could be one way you could advertise, and this applies to any local business. It could be a plumber, an electrician, a hairdresser, a personal trainer, you name it, all of those.
We have a buyer's agent online now, so
there you go. Absolutely. Then, apart from the Google local map pack, you've got the broader Google search, which is your generic search that you do when you get into Google. It could be on your mobile or on your desktop. And here I've given an example of someone's typed in personal trainer Sydney. And again, you can see these are the sponsored results that come up. And then you've got a bunch of businesses that are advertising on Google for personal trainer Sydney. So, and then if you type that in, obviously you're looking for a personal trainer, then you will look through these and click and go to the website, and then you go through the steps I just mentioned earlier, right? Having the right content on your site, etc. Mm-hmm. The other thing you can also do is what's called Google Ads remarketing. Now, what this means is, let's say someone has already come to your website, whether through your ads from Google or your ads on, say, LinkedIn or Insta or Facebook, or it could be just direct traffic coming to your website. But once they've visited your website, a lot of times what happens is people don't instantly make a purchase. They might not. They'll still be in research mode, right? So what you can then do is you can also program your Google Ads to show up on other third-party websites. So when the visitor has gone out of your website and they have now gone ahead and they're doing more research, or they might just be browsing other stuff, at this point of time, your ad appears on, say, a Sydney Morning Herald. So I've now, in this example, I've just shown. So these could be banner ads, etc. And up here, you're seeing two banner ads. One is for Tiffany and one is for a new car, right? So this is appearing on a third-party website like a Sydney Morning Herald, but I've just given that as an example. It could be even on a mom-and-pop blogging website. It could be the Australian. It could be a niche website. It could be many, many, many things, right? So your ads appear over here, and this just helps the person refresh. Oh, I was looking at that, and you could come up with an offer which comes to the person, like, hey, personal trainer, 50% off. Yes.
We have Lisa's asking, how do I get on Google Maps?
Okay, it's generally part of that same, when you advertise on Google, you set up your account. It's through there itself that you can advertise on Google Local, but maybe post the session, she can reach out to me and I can talk her through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then what's very important is when you're advertising, you must always make sure you're tracking your ROI, which is your, how much have you spent? What is the return you're getting? This is very, very important. So you need to track what is how many clicks you got for the amount you spent, how many people converted from that. So you need to look at your Google Ads dashboard and make those decisions. One point I would like to add on this is the fact that, look, that ROI calculation, sometimes it's your first business that you, or other first customer that you get, and you're able to get your return on your investment straight away from that first purchase, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of times what happens is you need to get the customer to do repeat purchases. And only when you do repeat purchases do you actually make your money back. So take that lifetime value of the customer also into account, because I know a lot of businesses, they just look at, oh, I spent $500 and the customer only gave me $300, so I didn't make enough money, and they shut down their ad. But what if they took into account the lifetime value of the customer? Hey, they can make some recurring purchases, or you can upsell them, cross-sell them, add them to your database. Then the economics change. So keep that into mind when doing your ad campaigns. So now moving on from that Google Ads ecosystem, we now look at another revenue within Google, which is SEO, which is search engine optimization. Now, when we're talking SEO, this is when your website appears on Google organically. That is, you're not spending money. So in the previous case with Google Ads, you were spending money. So if you had a budget of say $100 a day, you spend that money and you got, let's say, at $10 a click, you got 10 clicks. As soon as that money was over, your ad stopped showing and you're no longer getting any new visitors. Or if you stop spending money with Google, you stop getting those visitors. In organic search, what happens is, if you're able to get your website onto that first page of Google organically, you don't pay any money and you can keep on getting clicks and visitors to your website totally for free, right? But the flip side to this is it is very, very hard to get onto that first page of Google. There are certain cases where it's easier, like local SEO, when you're talking plumbers, electricians, a buyer's agent in a particular area. Those are comparatively simpler because the amount of competition is much lesser, right? Because you only have a particular suburb and you might have, for example, 20 electricians in a particular suburb, or 50 or 100, right? And that's all you're comparing against. But in other cases, when it's not a local business, your competition set is significantly harder. And so in order for your website to appear on that first page of Google, there is a lot of complexities involved. There is technical SEO, which means how fast your site loads, what is the information you're giving from structured data, etc., to the website, what is the coding, what is the URL structure, what does the site architecture look like. So you have to make it really simple for Google and any other search engine. And Google, by the way, while I'm talking Google, remember there's Bing also, which is another search engine. All of these things apply there as well. So there's the technical SEO side of things. There is the creative or building site authority side of things, which is where you need to make sure your website or your business gets cited and mentioned on other third-party websites and platforms, right? So you want to get, it could be social media sites like LinkedIn, Twitter, or as they call it, X, Instagram, Facebook. Then it could be things like YouTube, Vimeo, etc. It could be lots and lots of other blogging websites, niche industry websites that are important for you, your industry associations, getting digital PR, getting mentioned on news publications, even regional media, etc. So all that is part of that whole creative and content process. It's all part of the whole system.
So we downloaded this video and uploaded it onto YouTube, and really the website should be linked on the description in YouTube. Is that
absolutely? You must link back. And also the other thing, here's another tip. Instead of just linking back to your website homepage, link directly to the exact service page that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So instead of you linking back, for example, this deck to adrianmclean.com, if you had a particular service page which talks about, digital marketing, or even better, if it talks about Google, then you link back to that particular page from that YouTube thing. And that also applies, by the way, to anything else you're doing, like social media posts, etc., as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
These are all backlinks that make a difference.
Exactly. What happens is, since you've asked this question and opened this can of worms, I'll just dig a bit deeper. This is what's called link juice, right? And this is the core part of the Google algorithm that Larry Page and Sergey Brin first invented back in 1998. And this is what, so now I'm going to reveal my age here by talking about all this. So this is what made Google different to all those other search engines that used to be there. If you remember Alta Vista, Look Smart, all those, Yahoo was very, very big at that point of time. Because those search engines, they just looked at the keywords and the content. And if you had, for example, real estate buyer's agent 50 times on the web on that particular page, and your competitor had it 20 times, they would rank you higher than the competitor. It was as simple as that, I'm really making it very simple, but that was the essence of it. What Google did differently was it also started talking about what are other websites saying to you. So think of backlinks. I always say this, think of backlinks as votes. So the more votes you get from third-party websites, and these could be in the form of backlinks, or they could even be in the form of mentions, right? So, for example, your brand, Adrian McLean, has been mentioned on many, many different websites. It sends a positive signal to Google, and your website improves in ranking, right? So that's that creative and the content side of things. And when I say content, you also want to make sure you're writing blogs, etc., on your own website. And I've got a couple of slides coming up, where I'll talk a little bit more about it. Then you need to do on-page optimization on your site, which means you need to make sure you've got proper titles on each page. The heading tag is there. The title is descriptive. There's a meta tag, description tag on the page. Each image has the appropriate image, and you've got some text, which is called the alt text, added to it. So all those things, and then how you link each page to each other, which is called the internal linking. All these things get added, and that's how you get into the organic ranking side of things. And I always say that, look, if you can get onto that first page of Google, the big difference is even a small brand can compete with massive brands online. And here is an example where this was one of our clients, and they used to create what's called metal privacy screens. And they used to do garden screens and a lot of these, screens, etc., screens and fences and stuff. And they were actually competing in the US market, even though they were an Australian company, but they were targeting the US. So this is a screenshot of the first page of Google. And you can see that the website that time used to be called B Metal B. This is from a few years ago. But the reason I showed this is, you see, it is actually competing against Walmart and BHG, and Wayfair, which are really massive websites in the US, right? And it's right up there. Wow. So even though you're a small little brand, people don't know about you, but they're looking for your product, right? So they've gone in and typed in metal privacy screens. They've not typed in your brand name, which is B Metal B, because no one knows about you. But when they type that product in, if your website shows up, you've come into that consideration set, right? So that massively improves your brand value. So which is why I say organic SEO is so powerful.
I'm sure our marketers, Selena and Camelia, will understand that there's so much work that needs to be done in the background, isn't there?
Absolutely. That a huge amount. Like, look, SEO involves so much of knowledge, so much of resources, etc., which is why it's not as simple. But then once you get there, remember, it takes time. And I'm just jumping into now. I'm going more local here because I know a lot of your business owners, etc., who are also attending this, etc., they're looking at local stuff. So I just thought, let's drill down and look at a few local aspects that you can do as well to improve your local SEO. So, and this one
says it never stops. I totally agree.
Yes. And this one's called structured data or schema. And what you must do is every page on your website should have schema that is relevant. There's hundreds of different schemas out there. And the schema that, especially in a local website, should talk about local business. So that tells Google that this particular website, or rather web page, is about a particular local business, right? And then you can further identify it as medical, etc. So you can add that. And just, by the way, another pro tip over here is the fact that adding the structured data and schema also helps with AI SEO, etc. as well. So this makes a big difference from both local and AI. So adding that in will be good.
Sid, where does the schema come from?
All right. So it's a good question, Adrian. So what happens is you need to generate this schema, right? There's a website called schema.org where you can learn a lot more about schema. Then you can create that schema, and then you have to upload it in the back end of your website into the coding of the website. And if you don't know how, you can even ask your SEO consultant, SEO agency, etc., to help you with those kind of things as well.
Right.
Then I've put together a bunch of factors that will help you optimize your Google business profile, because your Google business profile, which used to be called Google My Business, it's basically, think of it as a mini website for local businesses or your local presence, right? So here, and I'll just show you on the next page first. This is an example of what it looks like, but now I'll just go back. There's a bunch of things you need to do on your Google My Business if you really want it to shine and stand out, and you want to be out competing your other competitors in there, right? So you want to make sure you claim and verify your listings. Sometimes some businesses have not done that because they're not aware of it, but this is a number one foundational step, right? Then you need to make sure you complete all the information within the fields, etc. So making sure your name, your address, your phone number, and by the way, we call this NAP, name, address, phone number, and website. They need to be consistent not only on that Google business profile, but also it should match exactly with your web page and third-party sites. Now, let me give you an example to clarify this. If on the Google Map pack or in this NAP, when you fill in your phone number, you say 02 and then you put your number down, whereas on your website, you've put +612 for Google though, and for any other search engines and anything else. These are two different items. They're not the same, right? A human sees them as same, but a search engine sees them as different, right? Or if without, and you could have a third variation where you don't even put the 02, you just assume people are in Sydney, you just type 9745, whatever the number is, right? And you put that in. So these are all different forms. You need to make sure that's consistent. Now, when you get into the address, that can get more complex, because you could write level 2500 Mount Street, North Sydney, or you could write 25/100 Mount Street. The point is you need to be exactly consistent. If it's a stroke you're using, then it's a stroke. If it's a comma, it's a comma. It has to be consistent between your GMB profile, between your web page, and any other third-party listings you're doing on, say, a Yellow Pages, a White Pages, etc. as well. So all of that. So this is your digital footprint. You want to make it exact.
Yeah. Is there a protocol for phone numbers now? Because we don't have the 2 in front of mobile phone numbers, or it's...
Yes, so then you would just, if it's a mobile number, then you just put 04, whatever the number is,
or
right?
61. Like, does Google prefer the 61 to be there or not be there?
Look, I think if you're only attracting a local audience, I don't think you want to confuse anyone with a 61. No. You just put 04, whatever the number is, right?
Yeah.
But if you had an international audience, then you would probably do a +61, right? Okay. So it would depend on your thing.
Yeah.
And then the other parts of your Google business profile are upload images, upload multiple images, not just 1 or 2, upload many images. Make sure the images are high quality. If you've got a storefront, images of the storefront from outside, exterior view, interior view, what it looks like inside, add all of those in. Update, put regular updates on your Google business profile. So it could be blogs, it could be offers, some stuff that you want to do. So you need to regularly update those. So you need to, have that whole Google My Business profile, and then select the category, the primary category of your business. And it actually allows you to select multiple other categories. So add those secondary categories in as well. So for example, you could be a technology business, but you could also be, hey, I sell computers, I sell mobile phones. So add all those relevant subcategories. So Google has a list of those categories. So you would select all those categories that apply to you. So you need to do all of those things to make your website GMB and all match up. And in this next slide, I've just shown that as an example. So this is an example of one of the clients we had worked on, Bayside Psychotherapy out of Melbourne. And you can see the first image, basically, it's got their reviews, very, very important in Google My Business, reviews, ratings, recency of those reviews, etc. So try to get those reviews regularly, right? Then you've got, the opening times, closing times, the address, all of that. Then in the third one, you have to see you've uploaded many, many images. Then in the fourth one, we have shown that you've given a good description about the business. And then in the fifth one, you can see that you're doing regular updates by putting your blog posts, etc., mini items over there as well. So that's how you would optimize your Google My Business profile. And then here I'm also talking, sometimes your local businesses have got multiple storefronts, right? And across different parts of maybe the same city or in different parts of the state. So in that case, what you also, and we recommend this, in addition to having a Google My Business profile for each of those locations, you must also on your website have a corresponding dedicated page. So a lot of times I've seen this where the business does not even, it just lists out, oh, we are in 15 centers, and that's what they say. And they just list out those centers there. What we recommend is if you've got 15 different locations, have one dedicated page for each location, right? And then link those amongst each other.
Is that really helps. One Google business profile?
So one Google business profile for each location, yes. Plus also, this is on your website. What we are saying is having a dedicated location page for each location within your website as well.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So that's all around local SEO. Then from there, if we move into the AI, which is the latest part, I thought we'll leave that for the last part of this conversation. So for AI SEO now, I'm going to address a few things here as well. So one of the things is, a lot of times I've heard that, because AI has come into play, everyone's just using ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity, Claude, whatever might be, and no one's using Google. Wrong. The data actually says that Google, so this is showing market share of Google, and it's comparing it to about a year and a half ago. And the market share of Google is still consistent. The reason for this is, yes, people are using a lot more of ChatGPT, etc., but they're doing that for limited searches, right? They're doing it for specific questions they're asking, but Google remains for most of their other stuff that they're doing. That's one. And second, very importantly, if they put something into, say, a ChatGPT or some kind of a AI LLM, they then come back to Google to verify that information as well. And that's what we call the verification loop. And I've got a slide which talks a little bit about it as well. So that's the first point I wanted to make, that look, don't ignore and don't get caught in that trap that you're hearing, oh, everyone's now using ChatGPT, so I should now not worry about Google or Bing or anything else. ChatGPT's market share, from whatever I've looked at till a few months back, was less than 5%, which is less than Bing. Think about that. And it's less than Bing. So that's a very big one. And it's been around now for 3-4 years. So that's an important key point over there. Now, the other one I want to talk about, when we're talking about AI and getting visibility on AI, all these studies are showing us that one of the key factors, if you want to be visible on AI, is you need to have a very strong Google presence. So what this slide shows is that if you're on the first page of Google, right? So if you were on page 5 or 6, that's not going to help you as much. But if you're able to do first page of Google, that automatically increases your chances of being in AI massively, right? The reason for this is Google has been around for 25, 30 years, as we know. They have indexed the entire web. There's billions of websites out there. They have indexed and trillions of pages. Each website has lots of pages, right?
Yes.
Google is the only one around that has really indexed all of this. If you think about it, ChatGPT and all have just come in 2-3 years ago. They don't have the resources to do any of this. So they are piggybacking off either the Google search engine or the Bing search engine. In ChatGPT's case, a lot of their grounding happens on the Bing search engine, right? So they are using that and they're saying, okay, Google has already gone through the whole trust factor and all of those things. And if they have ranked a website on the first page of Google, that means it's a trustworthy website. And that's the reason why the LLMs, etc., are using that Google data for their own visibility as well.
Can I just ask, Sid, I think it fits in here. You mentioned right at the beginning about an AI overview.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Okay. So the AI overview is basically what Google has done. When you type a search on Google, previously you just got what we used to call 10 blue links, right? One link for one page. Yeah. But now, right at the top, for certain search queries, not for all search queries, but for certain search queries, Google will actually answer the question for you without you having to go to the website at all, right? So, as an example, you might say, hey, who won the World Cup last, right? Yeah. And previously, what would happen is you would get a bunch of websites that are answering that question. You would click and go to the website and get the answer. Now, right up the top, Google answers it for you. It's called the AI overview. And how Google is answering that is it's looking at all those. And that's another slide coming up. So I'll talk about that. Something called an AI query fan out. It does a fan out and pulls those answers. I'll talk about it next.
Yeah. Sorry. There's so many new terms.
Yes, there is. I sometimes joke and I think to myself, look, I have to constantly study, keep on reading, keep on doing case studies, keep on experimenting just to keep on top of all that's happening in the SEO world, in the Google world, in the AI world, just to make sure we are right on top and our clients are able to get the best results possible. Now, this slide, what we are also showing is, look, some websites might be experiencing a little bit of a drop in organic traffic. And in some cases, they've also seen a big drop in traffic, depending on the type of website you are. Like, I know some websites were very content focused, especially like news websites, etc. And what happened is, because of this Google AI overviews, etc., a lot of that traffic, which was coming to these websites now is no longer coming to them, right? Mm-hmm. Now, what's happening, and that's what this graph is showing, the impressions, you might see a number of impressions in your search console that have gone up for your website, but the traffic has gone down because the number of people clicking and coming to your site is less. But don't be too disheartened, because as long as you're continuing to do all the right things, what's going to happen is the people who come to your website are the ones who are much further down the conversion funnel, right? Because when Google AI always answers those questions for them, they ask the next question and the next question, and Google keeps on answering it. Then they click. At the end of the day, remember, Google cannot fulfill the end process, which is the end last mile. Is they still need the service, right? They still need that personal trainer or the buyer's agent. So the person then clicks on the website which is featured in that AI overview. So if you see Google's AI overview on the right side, they'll have a bunch of websites. The person clicks on this website and comes to your website, right? So the person who has come to your website is a much more evolved user. They're much further down the conversion process, and there's a high chance that they will convert for you as well, right? So that's what I wanted to say, that look, don't be disheartened if you've seen. Previously, I mentioned the verification loop, right? So what's happening here, and this is a study done by Yext, and this is just done recently in, I think, just a few months back in 2026. where they surveyed thousands of customers. And what they found was, even though people are using AI, right, and they're asking it questions, etc., so like a chat GPT or something similar, only 5% of it trust AI explicitly and then go ahead and purchase from that website straight away. Most of the people are doing what's called this verification loop. So after they've asked something in chat GPT, they are now coming back, and the data is telling us 53% of them come back and use Google search to then do further research around that information, right?
Yeah.
49% of them go to the website and do further R&D around it. Another 42% click on some citations, etc., within there from that AI overview. Yeah. And then 28% look at the reviews. Most of the reviews are probably Google reviews, but it could be something like a Trustpilot, any of those third-party websites as well. So reviews are very important as well, right? And just talking just a little bit more about reviews, because I believe this is a very important thing, both from an SEO perspective, an AI perspective, a conversion perspective. So try to get as many reviews for your business as possible. Try to get them regularly. Sometimes what happens is you might get a few reviews and then forget about it, right? But you want to make sure you keep getting new reviews consistently, right? Because the recency of reviews also matters. People look at, how old was the review? So if your review is showing from 5 years ago, then people think, that's not really a business that's doing that great, right? But if the reviews are, a week ago, a day ago, a month ago, it makes a big difference. Total number of reviews also matters, so the total review count. So website, if you're comparing multiple businesses in the same sector, so the personal trainer who has 50 reviews versus someone who has got 500, the 500 reviews will generally win. Obviously, the star rating makes a big difference. So a personal trainer with a 4.8 star rating and 500 reviews versus the personal trainer with 3.7 stars and 50 reviews, you will select the one with the better reviews, right? So make sure you really focus on those reviews. They are very important. And from an SEO perspective, also they add as content, etc. So when you're getting, and this is what I tell my clients and all as well, when you're getting reviews, instead of just getting someone to just say, hey, excellent job, and give a 5-star rating, try to get them to do an in-depth review. So they should mention your service. So they should say, hey, Adrian is an excellent personal coach. She has helped my business, and then uses some words around that business, right? And she helped me update my website, and now I get 50 new leads every month. So get them to write those things in your reviews. I've also put together, this is a massive study done around what factors influence your AI visibility, right? And what has come through is the fact that, first of all, your website should be easily accessible by Google, etc. It should rank on that first page of Google, like I was mentioning a bit earlier as well. The content on the site should match up. It should be easily readable. So if you think about it, a lot of times people go to those AI overviews or AI LLMs and ChatGPT, etc. They ask a question. So what you also want to do is you want to put together some content on your page, which is in the Q&A style, question and answer format, right? Yeah. So add some FAQs to your page. What does your business do? So if you're talking about a particular item, think about what are people asking questions, and then respond to those questions as part of the content. Obviously, you want to make sure that the question is appropriate for that particular page, right? So, and a great place to find out those questions people are asking. One is if you've got your own data where people, call in to your call center, etc., and ask questions, or they, as a business owner, you know these are the questions people have asked me over and over again. The other one you can do is go to Reddit, see what are the people asking questions around your particular topic area. Another one I like is on Google itself. When you've done a search, if you'll notice on that search engine results page at the bottom or in the middle, they also have something called people also ask. And then you can see what are other people asking about it. So you'll get a bunch of these questions. answer them, right?
Oh, okay. People also search for.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So that also becomes a jumping off point for you to create more content around a particular topic or subtopic, right?
So does every page need an FAQ, or is that just over the top?
So every page, so I always say, look, use common sense. Does it make sense, right? Are a lot of people searching for that? If only one person is searching for it, I'm not going to go through the effect, right? But if lots of people are searching for something, then absolutely. And if really loads and loads of people are searching for a particular topic, then it might be a reason for you to create a dedicated page about that.
Yes.
Yeah. And then from a technical SEO perspective, these are a range of items that you can do on your website. I've already spoken about all of these, or most of these items. So I'm just going to jump through this, especially given that we're also running out of time, and I just want to make sure we have a few. We can answer a few questions. Do we have a few questions out there already?
Not yet. If anybody would like to ask a question, then now's the time.
Yeah, so I'll just wrap this up in the next minute or two. So this is about the blog. I mentioned this earlier. Make sure you write blogs consistently on your website. And now remember, do not just use AI. And I've got another slide coming up about it. Don't just use AI to create the blog. Now, when you write the blog, make sure you've got your author picture, which is, your own picture. If you're the business owner or the expert in the business, make sure your author picture shows up, your bio shows up. It should be connected to your social media profiles like LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. You should have the date it was published, and the content should be really well researched, right? And if you can add first-party information in there, that'll be excellent, right? So, and blogs are important because they also help you attract links. Remember, I said third parties, other websites talking about you. It gives them a reason to link to you as well, right? Okay. Now, don't use AI to create that content. You can certainly use AI to help you put together some information, help you do the research, but you just don't say, go to ChatGPT, say, write me an article about topic X, get that information and upload it. It's going to do nothing for you. And here is a slide where we've done, someone else has done a third-party research around this. And what they found was websites that created AI content at scale, initially Google ranked them and they got a lot of traffic, but soon thereafter, they just tanked because Google understood that this was AI created content and then they were gone, never to come back again. So don't create AI content at scale. I mentioned AI query fan out. So what Google is, or any other LLM like ChatGPT, etc., are doing on the back end, when you ask a question, they break it down into multiple smaller parts. And then in the back end, it's like you going in and asking 10 other questions around that topic. It then goes, researches all the other websites, and then that's how it pulls this information in there. So that's called the AI query fan out, which you can also use to create further content for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then I finally just put together a list of what are some of the platforms that AI is using and quoting that a lot. And these are some of the platforms that are being used a lot. So what we are seeing is Reddit, YouTube, LinkedIn, Wikipedia, Forbes, Yelp, Facebook, Medium, TechRadar. These were some of the most cited websites that came up when we did this. Research was done based on, I think it was 30 million sources of queries, etc. These were the websites that were the most popular. And then we've also broken it down based on if it's Google Gemini, it's using Reddit as the number one source, YouTube as the number two. Whereas if it's ChatGPT, it found that Wikipedia was number one, Reddit was number two, right? But essentially, yes, these are some of the most popular ones that are coming up. So do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it from me. And if you have if you would like a free audit of your website, please send through an email to me. My email ID is there at the bottom, slal@bruceclay.com. Subject line, just put free audit. And for the first 3 people who send that, I'm happy to put together a site audit for you. It'll be a basic audit, but it'll cover some of these points I've got on the screen there.
Fantastic. Right, thanks so much. So thank you, Sid, so much. That is absolutely amazing. And there's so much for us to get onto to raise our profile on Google, and you gave some wonderful checklists there.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm happy you enjoyed that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and thank you to Sid, of course.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
See ya.